What is up, guys? Today we're going to take a look at the Autel. So this in particular is their version of what is commonly known as the Power Probe. This is what they call it, Power Scan PS100. I guess this is like a 6-month review. Maybe I've had this for 6 months. I'll put it in the title or whatever. Okay, here we go. I still have the case because the case is great. It makes it easy to keep up with this thing. The accessories. The accessories are the same shape as the Power Probe stuff. So if you have a Power Probe device, such as a ECT 3000, the extension and the leads also work with those guys. Don't know why I have this hardware kit in here. It doesn't go with this. I'm going to take it out. So this is what you get with it. If you've seen my unboxing video, you already know all this. You want to know how has it been holding up. Well, it's been holding up good, and the reason I'm going to focus in on certain things like this probe. This probe is extremely sharp, very fine point, and it's easily removable. This will not fit in the case with the tip on, okay? As you can see, I have that kind of because when I'm working on large open circuit boards, I don't want the ground, or even battery banks, I don't want the ground touching the hot because this thing is loaded up with these clips. So they give you the extension cord to make it a usable length on, and I'm just going to drop all that extra cord down there just so this looks a little tidier, just so that you're working on a motor home, or even even when you're working on a camper like that guy back there. If I have to work inside that last compartment or in that furnace, the standard lead is not long enough. You need the extension. Some stuff that's close by, like I'm working on hydraulics, it's normally near the batteries. That's cool, but for most cases, you need the extension. And like I said, the way they have it's like very soft. It can fit with the Power Probe stuff. They use the same connector. So I'm glad that they did that. I mean, if you're going to knock something off, be legit about it and knock it all the way off so your accessories are compatible. So all of this stuff is compatible with any not any Power Probe, but some of the Power Probe stuff. It has the same ends as the ECT 3000, which is a Power Probe branded electrical diagnostic device that I have in use. So I've switched around the different, and it might have even came with, I think it also came with like the cigarette lighter adapter. And I actually took that and put in the ECT 3000 case because I almost never use that when I'm using the Power Probe, the Autel Power Scan, circuit probe. I'm always using the battery clips. So very simple. Just clip onto your battery. I just pulled out the small battery because it's easier to use and deal with. And then let's connect the circle and square. I actually need 2 hands to do that. I will be back. All right. Not only did I connect it off camera, I also pulled out the ECT 3000. The sticker didn't last. I'm throwing that away after this video. But there is the part number, and it's made in Taiwan. Yeah, that didn't last in my truck. And I also pulled out my AES wave kit because all of these things I kind of use together in concert. This is the other adapter that comes with the Autel that I just moved it over to here. It doesn't really matter. I always have them all with me. So as you can see, we have the Power Scan hooked up. It is, I'll just get my cord a little free here. It's compact, like it's smaller than my hand. And that's nice in one sense, you know. But for me, the one problem that you can supply your hots and your grounds, and it has the resettable breaker on the side, unlike my Ansel. So that's what I like about this one. It has, and you see what just happened? That's the problem with this one, guys. This button is super sensitive, and it's in the way because the tool's so small. While you're just gripping this thing, you know, you easily, you know, change it. So I don't know, maybe I'll probably, because I almost, well, when I'm using this, I use the frequency, the AC, to detect the signal from this guy, which is like a 4 kilohertz signal. So when I'm in the weeds with bundles of wire and I have to track it down, the toner is only good to getting you close. I use the circuit probe to go after that 4 kilohertz frequency, and you could see a lot more with the waveform to like narrow it down, and you can tell if your signal's getting pulled down, you know, if you're on the right wire but there's something interfering. It's all kinds of little, this is more accurate in conjunction with this guy over here. So, you know, I do use that. But yeah, other than this button placement here, I don't have a problem with this at all. It's just when you're using this thing, you know, if you have larger hands, just using your thumb on here, it's easy to accidentally, you know, you're going to press this button and it's very accidentally easy to change the screen. So this button kind of needs to be a little more stiffer or in a different spot. I would have loved to have had it up here, way out the way at the top, to where you can't accidentally hit it. Now my Ansel probe is larger, so the button is spread apart more, and I didn't really have that issue with that Ansel. But yes, as far as the 6-month review, this thing still works great, and that's basically what I'm mainly using it for. Sometimes I'm using it to actuate stuff, which is really easy for me as long as I'm not like on logic control stuff, because in the camper, everything is just, not everything, but when I say everything, it's like a euphemism, an idiom for most things, a lot of things. You know, it's the 12-volt system, you know. This does not work on the 110 system. You'll fry the circuitry in this thing. When it gives you that AC, it's talking about like low voltage, bro. Like really low. Like, you know, reference voltage, 5 volts, 10 volts, something like that. It's not talking about 120 volts AC. You will destroy the tool if you try to use it on AC, even though there's some misleading information out there from the book or whatever. This thing does not work on regular AC. It's for stuff like this, you know, low voltage device, which is powered by a 12-volt system that's producing that 4 kilohertz frequency, which is alternating, you know. So the AC is really just, you know, DC level AC, not mainline power AC. That's not going to work with this. But yeah, pretty simple design. Everybody makes them. I would not spend the money on a power probe because this is such a simple design. There might be some nuanced things, like maybe the power probe has the button set up in a way to where you don't I don't know. I never bought one because I looked at what it was from an electrical, a standpoint of like what the tool actually is and what it's doing, and it's like it's not like it's built for like great precision. It's like a test light on steroids with a lot of extra features. So I wasn't willing to pay a lot for that. Just like I wouldn't pay $200 for a test light. It's just a light bulb, a ground clip, and a probe. It's not so much I'm going to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? It's just a test light. So that's why I personally would not spend $300 or $400 on a power probe. This thing is awesome. I don't know anybody else who makes something like this ECT 3000. I've had great success with this. I kind of have a good experience with a lot of different tools, and when I see something, I can kind of tell if it's going to be good based on the principle and theory behind what it's doing. So I watch a bunch of the info commercials, YouTube channels, a lot of YouTube videos on it, and I watch the functionality of it, and then I can like pretty much tell like, oh yeah, I understand the science behind that. That's going to be awesome. On a lot of tools I can kind of do that. So yes. So this gets a thumbs up, guys, as far as a 6-month review. Everything's good on that. I don't like this button placement right here, but I can deal with it, especially if I'm just probing. I don't have to monster grip it like that. I could, grip it like this, even though intuitively, if I'm using their finger grooves, that places my thumb in this nice little groove that they have for the button. But I can kind of put my thumb off to the side and still use the tool. It's definitely not a deal breaker, and having the resettable breaker on the side is awesome. So it's not a whole lot we can talk about on this probe because, like I said, it's a very, very simple device. Okay, it's a twist on the old test light, but it's way better than a test light. And I've been using them for many years, but I've never had a name brand one. I've always used different brands, but good brands. Autel is a good brand. I use their scanners. Autel is a good brand. They also make scanners. Like, I didn't buy like something I never heard of because I am using this on electronics. So I am sticking with companies that I know and trust, being Autel and Ansel for the ones. But even using a reputable brand like Autel or Ansel, they're still selling this for sub $100. These things go for less than $100. Whereas, if you get one that says that on it, well, then you get to pay an extra $200 or so. And that's basically all you're getting. So, and Snap-on has one. I believe Power Probe makes it for Snap-on, or Power Probe used to make it for Snap-on, and then I think Snap-on has made their own, something like that. And Snap-on wants like a ridiculous amount of money for the rebranded one that they have. But it's more than just a rebrand, because when Power Probe made the one for Snap-on, they changed the design. It does, basically they all do the same thing, but they changed the way it looks, the way the screen is, the way the needle points. It kind of goes at an angle. They've done some different stuff with it, all negligible net gains for the technician, however, because like I said, mostly what you're doing is a quick way to verify powers and grounds, and so you can see what you got. Like, is it at full voltage? Do I have that And you could turn the speaker off on this thing too. So I'm going to turn the speaker off. It says press and hold to change. Okay, now the speaker is off because that's kind of noisy. But, you know, I could see the quality of my power, and I could see if I have voltage bleeding over on my grounds or, you know, on my neutral. You know, I'm not going to ever use it on the 110 hot, but I will use it to look at noise on the neutral sometimes, because sometimes it's easier for me to get a ground off the neutral bus bar or the ground bus bar in the camper without taking the PDU apart. So yeah, there's that. And I also use that method to kind of test my grounds. So I'll use like the neutral bus bar or the ground bus bar and see if my DC is there versus like the ground that I might be on, to kind of check the veracity of the negative, you know, on the DC side. But yeah, it's a good tool, guys. And in conjunction with this Power Pro branded ECT 3000 and a newcomer to the arsenal, this AES Wave probe kit, and this thing is unstoppable. So many interfaces that I can get into, and then quicker than the multimeter. Not a replacement for the multimeter, but in a lot of instances where I don't need the precision and the accuracy of a multimeter, I just need to know if something's hot or not. I use this kit to interface with the Molex connectors and the different connectors and stuff that I'm testing, or even back probing, because this thing does have back probe leads that are pretty tiny to get into. Let's open this one up. That's pretty fine there. So even for a back probing scenario, and it's just banana jack, right? So like this is just standard banana jack. So I could pull this out and I can, oh, that's not standard banana jack. Oh, I don't like that. That kind of sucks. I thought this was gonna be just like standard banana jack, so I can just put those in here. Yeah. I thought it was gonna be more like these nope. Have to use their leads then. Oh well. I'll just have to use it with the power probe tip. I have other connectors that fit right in here, like no problem. Maybe let's see if the power probe ones will. This is the one that came with the thing. All right, so here is the power probe ones. See, the power probe one fitted. That's what I was saying earlier, like the power probe stuff fits in the Autel, so I totally recommend getting the Autel one because the power probe stuff fits in it, which would mean, oh, I thought I had an extra wire. Is that it? Yeah, that one can fit in it too. Standard banana jack on the Power Scan. So the Autel stuff will fit into this, and I will have to use some kind of adapter so that my let's see if my regular leads will fit into it. They should. Nope, they don't. They didn't make these standard. They made them kind of work with their stuff, and then they have a wire that will work with that. So this is a 2.5 millimeter. It goes right here. Still not a deal breaker for me because this they give you some leads that their stuff works with. I wish they kind of would have made all that stuff just standard banana jack. But these are supposed to be this regular multimeter leads here. Yeah, those fit. It's weird that the other ones don't. If I want to use this back probe lead, just, yeah. I don't know why it won't fit in there. It fits in the, I think like the plastic or stuff on the outside, but yeah, so, you know, if you use their lead, it works, which is super weird because that fits into this and this fits into that. Oh, because they're both females, duh. All right, this isn't a male, this is the female side. These back probes are the female side, that's why it doesn't work. All right, mystery solved, guys. But anyway, all together, this stuff is a beast. You can put all the stuff together and it works really good. Yeah, all that stuff's female, that's why it doesn't fit, because that's a female. So if I wanted it to, I would have to put a double male connector, and I do have one somewhere. That's just a it's just basically this on both sides. It's like a coupler, and then I could use any of those connectors directly in the end of the power probe. But it's just as easy for me to connect them to my circuit and just touch the inside. That way I can have a lot of different things set up, a lot of different places, and then I can, you know, go after them later. I'll put that back together later. But yes, totally recommend this. This is an awesome device. It's a tool that I use every single day in electrical diagnostics. One of the first things off the truck after my go bag, which has a meter in it, and so I use that meter quite a lot, which is the Fluke 378, because it's in this bag. Turn that on, killing the battery. Oh, this is the 377. It's the 377. I'm glad I looked at it. I like to give accurate information. So this is a Fluke 377 FC. I think the 378 is an upgrade that does also quality of power. Something needed when you're working with like three-phase, a lot of three-phase stuff, and I didn't need that. So I got one that was cheaper, that did all the stuff I need, because I'm not using this on super high voltage, and this meter is kind of set up for high voltage. And I say that because the accuracy only goes down to like a 1/10, you know, so, you know, it only 1 decimal point. It doesn't go out to like 3 decimal points or 2 like my, what's that other one? A real popular one, that Fluke 87.5, you know, that's the one, like if I have to work on electronics, I pull that one out. If I'm looking at small current draws and stuff like that, milliamps, microamps, stuff like that, I get the other meter out. For this one, I'm looking at like stuff that's like a 1/2 amp or better, or mostly an amp or better, or a volt or better. I'm not really going sub-volt, sub-amp on this one. But yeah, it's basically like this. 0.0. It only has, you know, the resolution is low, basically. So yeah, that's what it is, guys. I will catch you guys later. RV Tech Pro out.